Jerry is sitting at a bar with his colleague Mike, venting about his wife Lisa, whom he strongly suspects has been cheating on him. Mike's response is immediate and entirely without hesitation. Get even. He lays out his reasoning with the confidence of a man who has never second-guessed himself. Mike waves this off completely and tells him he knows a very specific place, somewhere truly special, and he is going to take Jerry there tonight. Before they set off, Mike insists that Jerry put a bag over his head for the entire drive and keep it there. When Jerry asks why, Mike explains patiently that he knows Jerry well enough to be certain. Once he experiences what is at this place, he will want to return again and again until every last cent he owns has been spent chasing the feeling. Keeping the location a secret, they arrive at what appears from the outside to be a completely ordinary psychic storefront tucked into a side street. Inside, Mike tells the woman who runs the establishment, Madame Zora, that they are there for the special. Jerry assumes this refers to one of the women working on the premises, but Mike makes clear immediately that is not what he means at all. Zora takes Jerry upstairs on his own, guides him into a dimly lit room, and locks the door firmly from the outside. The room is almost entirely bare except for a single box resting on a small wooden table, with the words, "Stick it in here," written plainly across the front. Jerry suspects it must be a joke of some kind, but goes along with it out of sheer and unguarded curiosity. What follows is an experience unlike anything he has felt at any point in his entire life. He makes enough noise for Mike to hear him clearly from across the building. Mike goes to check and finds Jerry lying unconscious on the bed, still breathing steadily. A man named Ivan helps carry Jerry out to the waiting car. Zora pulls Mike aside and delivers a quiet but unmistakably serious warning. Do not ever bring Jerry back to this place. Jerry regains consciousness on the drive home in a state of profound and almost radiant contentment. Mike warns him firmly that the special is best treated as a one-time experience, and that if they ever do go back, Jerry should try one of the actual women instead. When Jerry arrives home that evening, Lisa tells him she is pregnant. This rattles him completely and unexpectedly. Without pausing to think about how the words will land, he asks out loud whether the baby is even his. Lisa is devastated by the question. He apologizes at once and pulls her into a long embrace. The following day at work, Jerry tries to pry the location of the brothel out of Mike. Mike refuses steadily, insisting it is genuinely for Jerry's own protection and long-term well-being. Unable to stop thinking about the experience, Jerry decides to find the place on his own. He searches online and locates a similar-looking psychic business operated by a woman named Mystic Wanda. He pays her for Zora's address and returns to the brothel during the day. Zora does not recognize him and says the place is closed. Jerry offers to pay double the usual rate and she agrees to the deal. Alone again in the familiar dim room, he uses the box a second time. Afterward, his curiosity takes hold of him completely. He tries to look inside with a flashlight and attempts to force the lid, but the box is securely and immovably locked. He decides he is taking it home. When Zora enters and catches him trying to leave with the box, Jerry, operating on pure compulsion by this point, shoves her to the floor and pins his weight on her throat until she stops moving. He walks out of the brothel carrying the box and drives away. Jerry rents a room at a cheap, discreet hotel where the staff are clearly accustomed to not asking questions and stores the box safely there. Detective Barnes arrives at the brothel to investigate Zora's murder and questions Ivan at length, who claims he was out buying groceries and witnessed absolutely nothing out of the ordinary. Ivan makes no mention whatsoever of the stolen box. The following evening, Jerry returns to the hotel after work and uses the box again with the same urgency as before. Exploring it more carefully afterward, he manages to pull a strange, thick, sticky substance from inside. Rather than being alarmed or repulsed, he experiments with it and discovers it produces the same overwhelming sensation as using the box directly. He bottles some carefully to take home with him. That night, Lisa initiates intimacy. The next morning, Jerry leaves early without a word of explanation. Lisa, now genuinely and seriously alarmed, calls Mike and asks him directly whether Jerry is seeing someone else. Mike says he has no knowledge of anything like that, but promises to watch Jerry closely going forward. Later that same day, while in the shower, Lisa experiences a sudden, sharp pain in her abdomen, followed by heavy and frightening bleeding. She has baby. Meanwhile, Detective Barnes returns to the brothel and notices an obvious and undeniable empty space on the table where something clearly used to sit. Back at the hotel that same day, Jerry tries the box again, but finds it now produces nothing but sharp, worsening pain in place of pleasure. He pulls away and discovers a red and spreading rash across his skin. He reluctantly visits a doctor who, without knowing the specifics of what Jerry has been doing, tells him plainly to stop doing so much of whatever it is and rest. Jerry goes home that evening. Lisa tells him about the miscarriage. He barely acknowledges it, too consumed by his own physical discomfort, and tells her flatly that they will simply try again. She is shattered by his coldness. Against the doctor's explicit orders, Jerry returns to the hotel the following day and finds the box has run completely and utterly dry of the substance. In desperate and frantic need, he notices a lock on the box, goes out immediately to buy bolt cutters, and forces it open by breaking the lock clean off. He removes the strange living creature he finds inside and uses it directly as his source of pleasure. His rash worsens rapidly and begins spreading up toward his abdomen. Lisa checks the credit card statements and finds a string of unexplained hotel charges. She then calls his workplace and learns he has not been in for several days, despite telling her he has been there the whole time. She drives straight to the hotel and lets herself into the room. An immediate and powerful foul smell hits her the moment she steps inside. She searches the room and finds nothing unusual until she moves toward the bathroom. Jerry begs her desperately not to go in there. She pulls the shower curtain back and finds not another woman, but a strange, pale, jelly-like living creature. Before she can speak or react, Jerry seizes her from behind and chokes her until she goes limp. He believes she is dead and turns back to the creature. Lisa stirs and begins to come around. Jerry panics completely and kills her with the bolt cutters. He cleans the room methodically, takes the creature home, hides Lisa's body, and converts his own bedroom into a faithful replica of the brothel room so he can spend his evenings undisturbed with the creature. Mike sees a televised news report covering Zora's murder, in which Ivan addresses the camera directly and says with great deliberateness that he understands exactly what the killer is currently going through and is waiting and ready for them to reach out to him. Mike, increasingly convinced that Jerry is at the center of all of this, goes to the house and finds the creature sitting in the bathtub. When Jerry arrives home shortly afterward, he speaks with a calm that is so complete and flat it is deeply unnerving, as though everything in his life is perfectly fine and normal. Mike tells him that whatever he has done, he will help cover for it and stand by him. Jerry then mentions in exactly the same tone, without any change in expression, that he has also killed Lisa. Mike reaches for his phone. Jerry suffocates him using a plastic bag and holds it there until it is done. The rash continues to spread upward toward his neck and jaw. He refuses to stop using the creature, regardless of how much worse his condition gets. Then one morning, he walks into the bedroom and finds the creature perfectly still and beginning to decompose into black, runny sludge. It has died. Jerry sits on the floor beside it and cries without restraint. In complete and total desperation, Jerry returns to the brothel and begs Ivan to help him revive the creature or provide a replacement. Ivan tells him calmly that the situation can indeed be fixed. He takes the dead creature away and instructs Jerry to wait in the original room. While Jerry waits, his body begins to break down at a terrifying and accelerating pace. His hair falls out in large fistfuls. His teeth loosen and fall out one by one onto the floor. His face swells grotesquely until it is unrecognizable. By the time Ivan returns carrying a brand new box, nothing recognizable remains of Jerry at all. Ivan carefully removes what little is left of Jerry's head and places it inside the new box. This is the process and always has been. The creature inside the box is formed from the body of the person that addiction to it eventually destroys, and the box replenishes itself by consuming its user completely from the inside out. Shortly after, Detective Barnes arrives at the brothel to inform Ivan that a man named Jerry has been formally identified as the prime suspect in the murder cases. Ivan listens, nods, then smoothly changes the subject and offers the detective the special, completely free of charge, as a courtesy. Barnes, genuinely curious, steps into the dim and familiar room, leans forward toward the box resting on the table, and peers inside. The cycle begins again.